What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. How you doing? Tonight we are going to be working on our flatbed trailer. It is actually not my trailer. It is a really good friend of mine. He is a retired contractor, and this was his second backup trailer. So for the past couple of years, he's just kind of let me keep it up at my place and do whatever I want to with it. And it has definitely come in handy. But the trailer's old. There's definitely some things that are worn out and need replacing, as well as just a couple of add-ons that I would like to do to make the functionality of the trailer a little bit better. So the trailer we have here is a 18-foot flatbed, low profile equipment trailer, whatever you fancy calling it. And it's got the fold down ramps with a little bit of a dovetail on it. 6,000 pound axles, so it is a 12,000 pound trailer. So a little while ago, probably about a year ago, we went and got some new used tires because the old ones were absolutely dry rotted and I did not trust them. So I just went up to the local used tire shop and got set up with a pretty good set of Goodyears. And then also we rewired the trailer just to get all the lights and the trailer brakes working properly because they were not when I first got it. We're going to start working on a couple of other trailer upgrades that I've been wanting to do for a little while. The first upgrade we are going to tackle is a new jack, because this jack that we have on here is completely worn out. I have to carry around a block every time I go anywhere because I can't even get it off the trailer without having to put it up on a block, which you could get into a tight spot there. And somebody drugged this thing down the road and the welds and everything broke. So this definitely is our first item to tackle. So what I'm going to do, you'll see when we start getting in here, I'm just going to weld in a new piece of C-channel. This is a piece of 6-inch, so this will actually match the height of the trailer. And then I cut out a little bracket at work to weld on to our farm jack, and we'll be able to set whatever height we want. And then we'll just bolt this plate straight to this piece of channel. And we use these jacks a lot at work on some of the boat trailers. And this by far is definitely, in my opinion, the best jack to use. You have your pin, you can drop your foot down to whatever height you need, and then just jack it up the little bit instead of having to wind it all the way up and all the way back down. Another thing that we have definitely been needing is some D-rings. We are going to just take these and weld them in various places all the way around the trailer. In the past, I've always just hooked my strap around the stake pocket, or even when I'm hauling a vehicle, I'll just come around to the front side and just lip it on here. But you do run the risk of them sliding or getting unclipped. So these D-rings are definitely the way to go. So we got a pack of 12 off of Amazon that we will slap on there and just give us more options for tying stuff down around the trailer. Our next thing that we are going to tackle is some new ramp bars. So this trailer originally had chains. The ramp would fold all the way forward and be sitting at a pretty steep angle like that, and you would loop your chain through there and lock it. The first time I hauled the Jeep on this, I loaded the Jeep on where it needed to be, so it was not too much tongue weight. Went to go fold the ramps forward, ramps were hitting the back of the Jeep. So I had to come up with this janky ramp bar very fast. So we are gonna do our traditional ramp bars. We have some 36-inch long, 3/8 steel ramp bars. And then I have some round stock that we'll just drill some holes in to put our linch pins in. And we'll cut these off to whatever length we need and weld one to the frame rail and then one to the ramp. And then our last little upgrade that we got for the trailer or to keep with the trailer, is a new set of car tie-down straps. In the past, I would normally just take a regular 2-inch strap, wrap it around my axle a couple of times, then hook it to the front. But with that, you run the risk of cutting your strap. You can see I've done that there. You cut your strap. These hooks can come loose if the vehicle shifts a little bit, and you could damage brake lines and other components on the axle by wrapping it like that. So now we got some legit axle straps and car straps that actually clip. So even if it did come loose, it's not going to be tumbling down the highway. So the first thing we're going to tackle is the jack, and then we actually have to use the trailer tomorrow to go pick something up. So y'all stay tuned for that. But I want to get the jack welded on and then a couple of these D-rings welded on just so we can use it tomorrow, and then we'll come back and jump on the other stuff a little later. All right, so we got all of our old crap cut out and everything ground down. That junk was pretty serious. Must have been some harder strength stick welds. All right, so we got our trailer level so we can ensure that we can plumb up our jack. We can just throw the phone level on it and make sure it's 90 degrees. So I think I want to orient the jack this direction just because I'm always on this side whenever I'm hooking up a trailer. And I think the end of the tailgate comes right about there. So we're going to go ahead and grab our channel and go ahead and fit it up to where we want to. Get it all ground down and weld it in, and then we'll figure out our height on our jack, weld the bracket on there, bolt it on. Got it fitting pretty good. I cut a little bit more off the tops right here, which slid it further in, but I wanted to tighten the gaps up a little bit more right here. And they look good. So we're gonna go ahead and clean the rust off where we need to and weld her up. So what I wanted to do is just try to weld all this so it's watertight, just in case we do like enclose a box in here and use this as the front portion of the box. So we did that. That's all welded in. So let's figure out where we want our bracket on our jack and get it in place. Jack's on its own weight. Looks good. Got it lifted off the tongue. But guys, I'm sweating like a pig. It's like 1:30 in the morning, but we got what we needed welded on. We got our 2 D-rings in the rear. I had to kind of clearance some of this wire mesh because I wanted these things to lay down flat, since that's basically right where your tire is driving over most of the time. Then I'll run up here to the front. And then we have our 2 welded up in the front and our jack done. So that's all I wanted to get done for tonight, just so we can use the trailer tomorrow and go pick up what we need to go pick up. And then we'll jump on this another night and finish welding up the rest of the things we want to weld on. All right, guys, it's been a couple of weeks actually since we last worked on the trailer, and we went ahead and picked up our project, and it's sitting right here in front of me. Not going to show y'all yet. Y'all going to have to wait on that one. But we're going to get back to working on the trailer. So I have 8 more D-rings that we are going to weld on. I want to weld on one here, there, and then I would like to weld on ones right where the axle, basically the center line of the axles are, but I might have to wait on those because if you see here, if I center it in the rail, I can't really get to this backside to weld it. So I'll probably have to wait until we take the fenders off to redo them. And then the last 2 are gonna be right here. So let's go ahead and jump into that. All right, guys, so like I was telling y'all earlier, I made these kind of like last minute. Basically, when I'd want to lower the ramp, I'd just take the nut off, slide this off, and lower the ramp. But I do not like that method, so we cut out some bars and then some little pins. I know you can buy these that have some threads on the back side of it, but I had some round stock, so we just made our own really quick. So what I'm thinking we're gonna do is probably weld this one right about here, and then we have a little bit longer one here that we'll weld somewhere in this vicinity. I want the ramps to stand perfectly straight up in at least one of these holes, maybe the closest hole or the middle. Don't know yet, but we're gonna go ahead and tack this one on first, and then we'll come back and figure out where this one needs to be and then match it on the other side. All right, so we got that tacked up in the closest hole, which I think that's what I want to do. And we got that one tacked in. Ramps are sitting dang near 90 degrees. So I think I'm gonna go with that. And the one reason why I like this is if I have, I don't know, for some reason, something like a truck that's hanging off a little bit further, I can tilt those ramps back just a little bit more than normal. So I think I am gonna go with this. So we're gonna burn these in and then match it on the other side. All right, so the last few things that we're gonna do to the trailer, when I put my tailgate down, it actually hits right here. There's no really need for this much, since the top of the little tongue adjuster stops right there. So I cut out some new gussets. We're just gonna cut it down to 3 inches instead of 6. I didn't need to cut out new gussets, but I wanted to cut out something a little fancy. And I actually did this right here for a little, where I can place my hooks when I'm not using them. June, back up. And then over here, these do just a fine job, but I wanted something that looks a little bit better, so I just cut out a little bit different gusset there. So that's solely a cosmetic change. And then last, I did opt for some new chains. So these we'll just weld those right on the side of there. And then like I was saying, this will be like once it's standing up, I can just kind of like place my hook there. And it just, you know, a little placeholder, looks a little bit better. Not necessary by any means, but we have the freedom to do it, so why don't we do it? So let's go ahead and jump into it and start cutting this down. All right, so we went ahead and got everything welded up. Our new corner gussets, grinding that junk was a absolute pain. And then we got our new chains welded on. And so this little notch right here, I just wanted to be able to do something like that. And it kind of keeps that hook in place. You know, doesn't bottom out on the backside. And it looks a little bit nicer. Same with these, just a little bit fancier gusset there, really solely cosmetic. So we'll go ahead and get all this stuff pulled apart. We're just gonna hit it with some Rust-Oleum for the time being. We'll get our old chains off. But that's what we got there. Laying some MIG dimes. What you think, Junie? What you think? So a while ago, before I got my new straps, this is how I would normally strap, just a regular 2-inch wide strap. And I'd come in here and make a couple wraps around the axle and then come back. A couple things I do not like about strapping this way: if the Jeep's tires ever compress or something, there is a possibility of these straps actually coming unhooked because of the way these hooks are. They're not like a positive clip-on. The way I would strap it would be pulling front to rear, so it would hold the Jeep down really good. But another thing that I did not like about this is with it being wrapped around the axle, there's a possibility of the strap to actually chafe on a bracket and start to wear through your straps. And, you know, worst case scenario, a strap could actually wear all the way through and pop. So let me get these undone, and the kids will help me hook up the new straps, and then we'll show you that. Alrighty, so with the new straps, we have our actual axle strap that wraps around the axle. You can see it good over there. Wraps around the axle. We have our straps that clip on either end, and these are our new D-rings that we welded. 2 on the front of the trailer, 2 on the back. And so we're able to pull the Jeep from the front. Straps are all flat, no twist in it. nothing's chafing or binding. The axle straps have like kind of a protector like this to keep the actual strap from wearing on a bracket or anything. So we have the fronts here, and then we have the backs back here, pulling from the very back. This is definitely a whole lot better than the previous method that I have. If a strap does come loose, it is not going to come off. So this is a very safe and effective way to transport your Jeep or whatever else you got. So just going over everything that we did to the trailer in this episode. We fixed our ramp bars to where they're a little bit adjustable and a whole lot more easy to put up and down. We welded on our D-rings around the trailer. Look at them go. And then in the front, we did most of our work. We fixed our jack and put a whole lot better jack on it. We did our little bit fancier gussets, our new chains, and then our gussets here. And then we also cut this down. And now the tailgate does not hit when I put the thing down. So you remember this thing was about 3 inches higher, and the tailgate was hitting it when I'd put it down. And then we just hit all the spots that we ground down to bare metal with some Rust-Oleum gloss black. I know it kind of looks weird, but we will eventually paint the entire trailer, so this will hold us over for now to keep everything from rusting. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this episode on the trailer. We're not done with it yet, but this was definitely a good start for getting some stuff done on it. And I will say, just from what we've done so far, the usability of the trailer has increased greatly from what it was in the beginning, especially the jack and the ramps. That was the worst thing. And the straps. I don't know, that was a big deal there, because I didn't like hauling the Jeep and strapping it the old way I used to. All right, guys, so y'all hit that like button, drop a comment down below, let me know what you think, let me know if you have any suggestions on what you think I should do to the trailer next, and subscribe if you are not already, and we appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next one.